AI is really good at generating code fast, but does it really give code that we can ship to production right away? The answer would be no in the current date. And that's a problem because we can't really review every piece of code manually. So to fix that, I came up with an automated code review skill, especially for my favorite Angular stack. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly that. I've been using this consistently on my projects and my product, and it has saved me a huge number of hours in fixing and reviewing code myself. So let's get started. So instead of wasting time, I'm just going to show you right away how that works and how we can use it in our own project. I have here a mini CRM application that I built using AI with just one prompt. It uses Angular material and it represents a basic CRM application, which is a very common application that we build. So you can see it has a dashboard here, a nice looking dashboard. We have a customers section here. We can filter here like this. We can add a customer here. That works. And we can delete a customer here if you'd like to. And then we go in the order section. We can filter it here as well. We can have a new order which can select a customer here. So all of the things work as they should. So on the face of it, this looks really good. But then what's the problem? Of course, the problem is not with the functionality. The problem is with the code quality. And if you go in the code, you're going to see that there are multiple issues that are not according to how I would do it as a professional Angular developer. But before that, let me just show you the standards that I have kept to be checked in the code review so that we can actually see the code in that context. So let me just go in my agent workflow kit here, by the way. So this kit actually contains the code review skill, and you'll find the link for this in the description. It's completely free and open source so that you guys can also use it. And you can also comment below and I can give you the code if you'd like it. Okay, so if you go down here and in the section of how the pieces fit together and specifically in the application architecture, you're going to see that I basically like to create applications in this structure. So the first aspect of this is the UI part, which is the components or the templates. I like to keep them thin, so I only like to keep very minimal functionality there, if at all. And most of my functionality will go in the NGRX signal stores, which I keep for orchestration or for saving things, managing everything. And the third layer is basically the services, which I only keep for data access, fetching, saving. That's sort of the last mile of the functionality. So this is a three-layered structure that I usually want to follow. And so this gives us a very clean architecture, separated architecture, which scales really well to large application sizes. So let's go back to our app here and see what the problems are here. So if we go in the code here, so this is the inbuilt cursor browser, by the way. I'm just going to switch to the file view here. So if you look at the code here, you have your source, and in your app, you have dialogues, layout, models, and then you have pages. So pages are basically the different routes of the application here. And the first one is basically the dashboard, if you can see here. So if you go in the dashboard, everything looks okay, except for the template is a bit large for our taste. And secondly, if you go down, there's a whole styles section here, which you would like to condense. And the dashboard has minimal functionality. This is still fine. But if you go in your customers here, you're going to see that the template is still very large and it has multiple sections. So it should be separated out. So that's one of the issues. But the other thing is you can see we have all of this logic computed, this confirm delete functionality. All of this is encapsulated in the component itself, which is you can say it's a smart component, is doing a lot. The only thing that it is doing is calling delete customer at the end, which is encapsulated in the service here. So this is a good thing about it, but the service is basically being used as the data store. We actually want to separate out the service, the last data fetching service and the store into different aspects so that the store contains our state. Okay. So these are the two things that are problem, and the templates are big and the components are not thin. So these three issues we are going to specifically see because these are one of the largest issues that we can see in different applications. Obviously, there are other issues as well. If you go in your root file here, you're going to see that we don't use lazy loaded routes. This is a performance issue. There are other issues as well in your dialogues here. And you look at your customer form, for example, you're going to see that we are using the reactive forms here when we would actually want to use the signal forms now. Okay, so these are small things. Let's test out the code review skill and see what it does to our code. Okay, so the first step in using my code review skill is to actually install it. I've made it easier for you. And if you go on the GitHub here, you can install it using this command here. So I'm just going to copy this command and I'm just going to say to cursor using Composer 2.5 fast, the faster model, to run this command here. Okay, it has done installing it and it says that it has installed all of these things. Now there are 51 files because the base of this is actually the Angular developer skill, which is the official Angular team skill, which contain guidance about all of the different aspects in Angular development. So it's quite lengthy, but don't worry, this is not loaded up into your context upfront. So it's not going to bloat your context. It's just going to be used whenever we invoke upon it. Okay, so it has installed these things, and you can see that it has installed 9 standards documents for Angular and architecture, and you can check it out in the code itself if you'd like to. Okay, we're going to move on and we're going to start using the code review skill here. And we have installed this. So what we're going to do is we are going to just do code review here. And you can see that we have this code review skill here, code review. And for this code review, we are going to use the more expensive or premium model because code reviews should be comprehensive. They require more reasoning, and we should use the latest model for that purpose. I have got better results using those. So I'm going to use GPT 5.5, which is my favorite model nowadays. You can also use Opus if you'd like to. So I'm just going to do code review here like this. And while it's running, I'm just going to do a shameless plug. This code review skill is basically part of the whole agent workflow kit. And I talk about all of these things in my Agentic Angular newsletter, which is a weekly newsletter, which I send out to all of my folks who are interested in Angular development, especially using agentic coding. So if you fancy something like this, or you're interested in learning more about my workflow and all of the things related to agentic and Angular, be sure to subscribe to this, and you're going to get a weekly newsletter informing you about all of the updates. So let's get back to this and see whether it's done. So you can see it's saying that it's checking out the standard, it's reviewing the scope here. So let's just make this smaller a bit so that you can see all of it clearly. Okay, so we have our final findings here now from the code review, and it just took us a few minutes. And you can see that it says that, okay, the roots file have issues. Okay, so we should actually do lazy loaded feature roots. That is fine, very simple. It's organized under this. So it's also changing the organization of the code. So the organization of this code is a bit different. In my agent workflow organization, my folder structure is basically something like this. So I have a core folder, and then I have a features folder for each of the pages so that we can co-locate things together, and we have a shared UI folder for that. Okay, so this is the folder structure which it's talking about, and it's saying that the new code is not organized. It should be organized under the root feature. So this is really good for refactoring your code as well according to your own folder structure. After that is customer form is going to shift to signal forms here. Then it comes to the next thing, which is services and side effects and state and stores. It comes to the legacy material button selectors. So it's also going to use the latest Angular material syntax. It's going to use Tailwind for the styling because I use that. So I'm going to get rid of those long style blocks that we saw. And then lastly, it also, as you can see, it did template size split assessment, which is really crucial here because I really like my components to be small enough to be recognizable and to be readable, not huge templates which are really difficult to reason about. So you can see that it has different things. So it has different flows. So for example, the customers and the orders, they combine the filter controls, they combine material table and the dialog actions in a single root component. We can actually split by flow here. Okay, and one parent provided store. So this is exactly how I would do it myself. Okay, so we have all of these issues here, and all of these are issues which I want to resolve. So I'm just going to switch to a smaller model here for implementation purposes. And I'm going to say that go ahead and fix all of these issues. And let's see what it does. Okay, so we are finally done with our refactor or the fix for all of these features. And let's see what it actually did. So we're going to check out just a basic sanity check for all of our functionality here. So you can see the customer is working here. Let's see if we can add a customer. So this is the first thing that I do when the agent does something. So I first test it out myself, and I want to see whether everything works as it is. Okay, we can also delete this. Yeah, the filtering works. Great. And then orders, pending, new order. Great. I think everything works as it was before. So the refactor was a success. Now let's look at the code, which is the main thing. And if you look in the code source app, you're going to see the structure has changed a bit. So we have a core folder now with all of our things, and we have our CRM store here. So let's look at the store first. And so we have our signal store here. You can see provided in root. It's the root based store. It has the state of our customers, orders, loading. Then we have a with computed section here, which is returning all of our data here. The initial data, then we have the computed here. And then we have a with method, which has all of our methods here to load, to get customer name, create customer, all of the other things. and then it's returning all of them here in the end here, which the pattern that I like to follow. And then it has an on init hook which says that okay, it loads it initially. And then we have features, and if we go in your customers now, if previously you saw that the customers were one single component, now it has been split, you can see. So if you go in customers.ts, you can see it is nice and small. So we have your header here, which is fine, but below that we have your customer filters in a separate component and your customers table in a separate component, and we are managing all of that by using the CRM store here. And I think this we can also probably shift. If you look at it strictly, we can probably shift it to the store as well, but it's good enough for now. And if you go in your customer filters here, you can see we have your customer filters, nice and small component, and it's basically just using a model state here. So it's not using any store here. The same thing with the customer table here. I think it would do the same thing. So it's just the table, and it's nice. It's checking the list of customers here. But in the delete thing, it's basically just calling the store itself, the CRM store itself. So if you can see here, so it's using store.confirm delete customer, which is a store method. So all of the functionality is basically inside the store. Okay. And now if you go to your services, or in fact your services are in core now, so CRM data service here, you can see that your services are basically just doing the data access operations like save and delete the CRUD operations, and it's basically being called by your store here to do all of this work. So it's all according to what I would like. And then if you go in your app.roots here, you're going to see that we have your lazy loaded roots now. And lastly, we had a issue with the form. You can go to your forms here. So if you go to your shared folder here, which will have your form, you can go your order form. Just as an example, you can see that we now have the signal form imported here. And if you go down here, you're going to see we have your signal here, and we have your whole signal form with your validations in the nice signally form way following that. All of this looks really nice, and you can see that in just a few minutes, we have improved the architecture of my simple application to follow this three-tier architecture, which is suitable for production level application. Okay, so before I leave you, I just wanted to go give you an overview of what the code review skill actually does, the steps that it follows. So it first starts with identifying the scope, and it only checks the changes, untracked changes or the uncommitted changes in your repo. So it works great when you're actually making a change, or you just added a feature using AI and you want to check that immediately only. Okay, so it only checks those things, and then it routes the specific files to the specific folders for checking. We have these docs and standards, the architecture doc, the core engineering doc, the Angular components, templates and styling, materials, state and stores, services and side effects, and the testing as well, even though we don't cover testing in this case. And at the so this makes sure that it routes the files to the correct standard document here. And then at the end, it also gives a sort of an index. So it has to give an index that it has reviewed that file, because initially when I tested this out without this portion in the skill, it basically just did some of the files and it left other files. We want it to be comprehensive. So this makes sure that it has gone through and it has verified all of these standards with your code. So this is template of a code review skill. You can obviously change it to your own liking as well. Try it out in your project and let me know how this goes on in your project and whether it helps you out. By the way, this code review skill is just one part of my workflow. So if you would like to know more about the workflow that I follow for my own project now, check out the video that I linked here and you will get more information about that. And if you are more interested in a more deep dive course experience, do join my waitlist. I'm planning to start a cohort based workshop or maybe a course along similar lines where we'll be building a complete Angular application together during the course. And we are going to have some, and we can do this together. So if you are interested in such an experience, do join the waitlist. You will find the link in the description where you can sign that up. So I'll see you next time, and with another deep dive into something related to agentic and Angular development. Thanks for watching.